We're live. Welcome to another installment of the Final Scoop podcast. My name is Robert Schinetsky, the supplement engineer. Joining me as always is my international cavalcade of companions, supplement industry influencers, game changers, thought leaders, and innovators, titans of industry. Robert Samborsky, Apollon Nutrition. Lukasz Rytkowski, Prometeus Intelligent Sports Technology. We are down our lord and leader, Shane. We don't know where he is. Hopefully he's galloping in on his horse on a broken Polish road somewhere to get to the show in time. We'll see him soon enough, hopefully. But happy belated Thanksgiving to all of you tuning in for this. I hope you all had a festive, fun time, or you survived the holidays that we're visiting with in-laws and family and all the other shenanigans that go along with holidays. So how's it going, my friends?
Good. How's everything? How's your trip?
My trip's actually been going well. We had really good food, both Wednesday and Thursday. So we got into Slidell, where Sandy's parents live, on Wednesday. Took Sophia out on a boat ride because they live on like a canal that goes out into Lake Pontchartrain. So we went on her brother-in-law's pontoon boat that can fit like 15 people are on it. And then we went out there on the lake. Sophia's first time on a boat, which was a lot of fun. So she's up there doing like the Titanic thing of like, I'm free flying. And when he hit the rope, started coasting like that. We went and ate this new little seafood joint that they had there. Fabulous raw oysters and some grilled fish that we had there. And we're in Austin, so we're kind of landlocked, so you don't get really fresh seafood. But here in New Orleans, you're between two bodies of water in Lake Pontchartrain and the Gulf of Mexico. So you get this constant influx of just delicious fish and crustaceans and all that kind of stuff.
Is she picky when it comes to food or not?
No, she eats pretty well. Like we got her to try a little bite of the raw oyster. She did some shrimp. She did some grilled fish. She eats much better than I did at her age. Like my 5 food groups when I was a kid were plain hamburgers, not even cheese on it, just ketchup, French fries, chicken fingers, pepperoni pizza, and like a Pop-Tart. That was it. I was the pickiest
Basically,
eater.
diet of my cousin.
Yeah, I was a chubby little bastard, just not.
Yeah.
Then we did Thanksgiving.
You can't use that name. That's trademarked by Lukasz.
It's trademark for sure.
Thursday we had we did the actual Thanksgiving feast with Sandy's family that night. So Roy, the guy that had the boat in whose house we were at, smoked a turkey, like this giant, like 18.5-pound turkey. We did that. I made a cranberry sauce and a Caesar salad dressing to go with that. We buzzed up a bunch of anchovies, olive oil, and all this other kind of stuff to make a Caesar dressing. They also had roasted Brussels sprouts, roasted asparagus, a cauliflower gratin casserole, or like cauliflower au gratin. There was stuffing because that's Sandy's favorite, and then they had 1 or 2 pies. But we woke up that morning just like to start doing the food prep, and Sandy's dad, Dave, says, "All right, Robert, I'm going out on the back porch to smoke a cigar. You ready to drink?" And I said, and it was like the earliest I think I've ever had an old fashioned or bourbon is probably like 4:30 in the afternoon, 5 o'clock. We started drinking at 11 in that morning, and so he was pouring it for us. And so him and I are just sitting out there while Sandy's mom's finishing up some other cooking. He's out there smoking a cigar. We take a break. He goes and naps. We put Sophia down for a nap. We relax for a little bit. We get up and go to their house. We killed off like a bottle and a half almost of bourbon between the 4 of us making old fashions that night. He said, "Robert," and we got back to the house, and he says, "Congratulations. I think you're the first person to ever get me drunk at 2 separate times in the same day." He said, How is this you're 60-something years old. How is this the first time that's happened? But it was good. We had a really good time with them. And then last night was with my dad's side of the family, at my mom and dad's house. So we did that. I got to see my grandma and my aunt and uncle, who I hadn't seen in probably about 2 years or so. Especially on like my dad's side, because one of them lives out in Florida. The other one they live in New Orleans, but they go to like Montana, Pennsylvania, and all that other stuff. We did that, and then we're gonna I'll hang out here tonight and watch the last LSU game of the Ed Orgeron era tonight at my sister's house. So all good things, lots of yummy food, lots of good drink. Oh, and Lukasz, last night, my mom, so I told you when my parents came to visit us about a month ago, I gave her the bottle of Soplica that you sent us because she loved it. And she doesn't like liquor at all or anything. She drank that. She brought out little aperitif glasses or aperitivo glasses for all of us to have a sip of. And that bottle, gone. Between like my grandma, my aunt, and my uncle, and everything else, it was gone. So, man, you hit a home run. If you ever come across some more of that stuff, let me know, and I will pay you double to send us a couple of extra bottles.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it wasn't my off day. of the gym, so I was still hitting my weights. But when I was going back home, I hit some stores and I bought some bottles for you. So yeah, man,
Thank you. They will. My family will be immensely in your
they
debt.
will be on the way in like this or next week, but definitely before end of November. So yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, they because we were asking. They said, "Well, where'd you get this?" They said it's a Polish vodka, and they said, "I don't see it at the store." And my mom said, "No, Robert has a friend in Poland that sends him this stuff." And they said, "Oh, I said, yeah, man, I got the hook up to the motherland."
Yeah, man.
So, thank you all for joining us. You guys got any comments, questions, query, quips, smart ass remarks for us? Let us know how your Thanksgiving was, or if you're not from the good old U.S., feel free to tell us to piss off because you didn't actually have a Thanksgiving. You did something else for your week. Jojo, Alex, hello, beautiful people. Hello, Alex.
Hello, beautiful people. Hello, Alex.
Robbie, how was your Thanksgiving? What do y'all do?
Canadians. Robic, by the way, maybe let's break the news and say what's up. I already announced on my Facebook, but maybe you can say some words about what happened.
Nope. You're going to announce it.
Why me?
Because you're a superstar. I'm just going to confirm. Plus, you had something to do with it, so you go ahead.
Yeah, so it's a great pleasure, to announce that right now the products of Apollon Nutrition are now available in Poland. So Robic gained a great partner, Body Shock. The owner is a great friend of mine, Lukasz. We worked for many years. He's a great friend of mine. Plus, he's also a great partner of Prometeus. He was placing orders on a consistent basis through many years, and we talked, and he was interested in stocking Apollon Nutrition. Then he messaged Robbie. They got connected, and everything moved, super fast and smooth. And now, the products landed to motherland. So yeah, all the products are listed already on Body Shock site. What's great about it is that the shipping is worldwide. So even if you are like located in India, in and other parts of the world, you can still place an order with Body Shock, and just like they will ship right to you. So yeah, big shout out to Luka and to Robic, and I think it will be a great partnership between them, So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
So first of all, Lucas, thank you so much for the introduction. And, I've talked to Luca only a couple of times, and he was nothing but class act, very, very respectful, very cool, very easy to talk to communicate, which is, it's not always the case in this industry. And I know that he was in touch mostly with Carolina, and she said the same thing, that it was a very, very smooth transaction. They are professionals. They clearly know what they're doing, without a doubt, because, it wasn't like 3 or 6 months negotiation or anything like that. It's good when people respect what you do.
Yeah.
And they clearly know the product. They clearly are aware of of the formulas. They know what Apollon stands for, what we represent. Clearly it wasn't without your participation, which I actually want to say something about it a little bit later. But I'm very glad, and considering that it's a worldwide, that helps us a lot, because it helps to spread the word even more. Unfortunately, due to, you've been waiting for a package from us for like fucking 2 or 3 months now, which is an absolute pain in the ass. And to have somebody who, they know obviously what they're doing, they have their means of delivery and everything, they have a hand on it. Again, they're professionals. That helps us a lot, because if somebody reaches out to us from, again, we have a lot of inquiries from India, from all over the world, we can always refer them to Luca and, and point out, because, we all in this together. We all in the same boat. And, they only help us grow Apollon brand even more. Mm-hmm. For those that don't know, even though I said it numerous times, but Lukasz played a huge, and I mean huge part in spreading the word about Apollon. When there were times when people would make fun of us, ridicule us, and point fingers at us that we are nothing but a pre-workout company that makes just very strong pre-workouts, to be exact, and we don't represent anything else. And I always said that it comes from knowledge. And when you have people like Robert, when back in the day, I know he doesn't like to talk about it, so he can shut the fuck up. I'll talk about it. When he was part of the crappy channel now called Price Plow, back then was actually relevant. He played a huge part at spreading the word about Apollon, because he actually was the first person to point to the myth about caffeine not being the enemy, because that was that's what basically Apollon was. Company that puts a lot of caffeine in pre-workouts that is actually harmful. And knowledge helps when you make products that are actually fully dosed, fully transparent, and formulated with a brain. And I'm not just blowing my own horn here, saying that that I'm the one behind the formulas. I mean, right now I actually have a lot of help with people helping me and making sure that the formulas are really second to none. So when you have a good team of people that are helping you spread the word about the brand, the result is, a company like Lukasz company, and and it gets into places like Poland and Australia, and it's becoming from a small gym brand to becoming more like a worldwide brand. And one person cannot do it, and that's the reason why the credit goes to so many people that are involved in this. And honestly, Lukasz, thank you so much for this, because I really appreciate it. I know you played a huge part in this, and words cannot express my gratitude to you for everything that you've done for the brand.
Yeah. No worries, and I was really happy to be a part of it. So from my perspective, it was just like pure enjoyment. But yeah, it's great to see that the brand is expanding, and especially nowadays, when we have such a crusade with everything, with delays and so on. So yeah, but I'm also happy that we have like extra spot in Europe that can ship worldwide. So yeah, that makes life easier for everyone. And now when people are like asking us also on podcasts and other like socials about where they can buy Apollon products here in Europe, you can always like say that Bodyshop got your back. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. Plus, Luka, I always said he's a great guy. He's like a brother to me. So yeah, I have only positive things to say about this guy. So yeah, big shout out to him, his crew. And yeah, I'm hope that the stock will sell like this, and more will come. So yeah.
Yeah, actually, Lukasz sent me, I think, like a message within like a couple of hours that they posted, the products on their site. He said that the sales were already pretty strong, like almost instantly. So demand is definitely there, which makes me very happy.
Yeah, but like more great things are in works. I can't say anything else right now, but yeah, it's gonna be hopefully we're gonna close up the year strong. So yeah, I'm pumped. So that's what I can say right now.
There we go, man. Congrats, Robbie. And Lukasz,
thank you.
Awesome, man. Congrats too. That was you brokering the deal. Paul, for how much the Polish have been through, any other products won't be felt, but with Apollon, they will be. Alex, Thanksgiving was back in October for Canada. Oh, okay, good. I was not aware of that. Jojo, this was the first year I did not overindulge in Thanksgiving food and was slightly disappointed. Robbie, do y'all do Thanksgiving? Do y'all do a big blowout with like Carolina and Alina and everybody over at your house, or how do y'all do it?
Alina's getting ready for her wedding at the end of December. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we had Marina's parents at the house. Carolina was here. And yeah, it was pretty much same as every year, more or less. Quiet, and when you do what we do, quiet is actually very, very welcome.
What do y'all lay out? Do y'all do like a traditional kind of like Russian Ukrainian food, or do y'all do American style
I would
Thanksgiving?
say it's a little bit mixed typically, but we had turkey I think almost every year consecutively for many years,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think we started switching around. So I think last year was maybe turkey thighs or something like that, or legs or something. I think same was this year,
Mm-hmm.
and prior to that we even had chicken. So I noticed that a lot of people are actually switching from the traditional turkey to having ham and chickens and whatnot. I think that
Yeah.
yeah, and I know turkey is not very popular in terms of as a meat, but I mean it is traditional for Thanksgiving. So I don't know how I feel about the fact that people kind of like breaking the tradition, but on the other hand, I think that it's uh, it's not about the turkey. I always believe that Thanksgiving is more about family and close friends and being together. I don't think it's very, very important what's on the table as long as you guys are happy and you can be together and catch up from everybody being busy and involved throughout the year. I think that's all that matters, not exactly what's on the table, so to speak, although that helps too.
Yeah. Do
Funny
you do
how
any
you say.
cooking?
Funny,
Or go ahead, Lucas.
funny how he said that ketchup.
Yeah.
I was like ketchup.
Do you do any of the cooking, Robbie, or is it Marina and Jess and the girls? Or do you like to cook much or not so much?
I'll let you answer that question. What do you think?
I'm gonna say no.
You're going to be right.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not. Not that I'm terrible. I just don't have the patience when it comes to cooking. I mean, clearly I love food, but I'm very good with things like omelets, for example. I'm good at that. I can make a steak, meat, and like a little bit like simpler and something that doesn't require a lot of preparation. So I just don't have the patience like when it comes to food. So I'd rather eat and let everybody else cook.
That works. That's good. Mitch, congrats, Robbie. When is Lionheart dropping?
Bitch, aren't you on vacation? Stay on vacation. Leave me alone. You know what? Honestly, I hope it's gonna be December. I'm really like fingers crossed that it's still gonna be in December, but not later than January. Let's say it this way. I mean, just delays are insane. I'm still hoping that it's gonna be in the next 2-3 weeks.
Okay. Have y'all heard any updates or changes as far as, and I know it's a holiday week here stateside, but as far as materials, delivery, manufacturing stuff, has there been any giant changes or fluctuations of anything that the listener should be aware of at least?
I haven't noticed any changes or improvements or anything like that. I think the prices are absolutely through the roof, but I don't think that they necessarily climbing. I think that they just high and that's it. Like, we had that, yeah, I think we had that like huge, not even huge jump, but it was a consistent jump from week to week, even from day to day, where prices would change constantly. I think that right now they just plain and simple they high. That's it. I mean, if they changing like that, it's not very significantly. I did hear that the price of egg protein specifically, that's the one that actually doesn't go up necessarily. It just goes up and down. It's still up. It's expensive, but it fluctuates for some reason. I'm not aware exactly why, but I know that that price fluctuates. Everything else, I believe that citrulline went from it used to be, I think, about a year ago, like under $10 a kilo.
8 a kilo, I think.
8, 9, yeah. And right now, I've seen prices, ironically, as low as 21 and as high as 26, 27. So, I mean, that's the reason why I'm trying to defend the industry, at least those that are making. If I see, this is something that I would definitely like to discuss a little bit later today, but when I see that companies are still releasing fully dosed products, I'm very, very impressed. I mean, I take tremendous pride in the fact that Apollon doesn't underdose shit. Not one ingredient that you're going to see that we are underdosing. But to say that we are the only ones, that won't be my style. I'm not like that. But there are literally a couple of companies that I would really like to give them the respect that I feel like that they're not getting. Perhaps I think Apollon is getting more respect than it ever has, but there are other companies who are fully dosing ingredients, and they're small companies, typically run by family members, by one individual, who are fucking stocking up the products probably in their houses and their garages because they cannot afford anything else. but they still delivering kick-ass products, amazing products, and they're not getting the respect. Sometimes people even say that Apollon is underrated. I don't think we are underrated anymore. I don't think so. I think people know exactly what Apollon is, what we stand for. We have fans, we have people that don't like us, and I'm okay with that too. But I don't think we are underrated. I think maybe underappreciated in a way by certain, I would say mostly industry insiders, not the consumer. But there are other companies that are really, really underrated, and I would say even disrespected, way more than Apollon, or maybe on a level that Apollon was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, before we started climbing up and the word of mouth, and then obviously guys like you that helped us grow. But to me, the fact that considering these prices, there are companies who are delivering consistently kick-ass products, and nobody talks about it. I mean, the only people that really talk about it is us, which is, I take tremendous pride in it. And I would like to emphasize those companies, obviously Morphogen. I mean, he consistently delivers. Like a pro, Jeff Long, he puts everything into his products. He definitely loads these products. I mean, he runs the whole operation, I believe, with his wife, and they really delivering. I mean, I always say, Jeff and I, we talked about it. We are different in terms of how we approach our brands, but Jeff fully loads his products. You take the label, and it's there. And then you have in UK Naughty Boy. I mean, Naughty Boy impresses the shit out of me. That guy is wow. I'm unbelievable. Mad respect for him. Absolutely mad respect for him. I know Lukasz is friends with him, and I hope Lukasz finds time in his busy superstar schedule and passes, my respect to him. But the guy is an absolutely fucking killer, and he doesn't get respect. And not only he doesn't get respect, he actually being disrespected by the same assholes that I just talked about recently. But I mean, those guys, even NutriBio consistently delivers. They do deliver. That's a fact. NutriBio does deliver. They do fully dose their products. They have one guy that helps them with formulas that he's kind of okay. Could be better, but
he's not a thought leader by any sense of the image.
No, he sucks. He even ran away to Louisiana.
He just thinks he's a leader.
No, but seriously, you know what I mean? I said a few things about NutriBio that was maybe, again, sometimes I'm misunderstood. And yes, I do have, I don't see, not that I don't see eye to eye, but certain things I would have done them differently, put it this way, than NutriBio does. But in terms of
you know what? That's the beauty. That's the beauty of the industry, as you said about the Jeff Long and
Yeah. You can still do different, but you can still deliver. And NutriBio constantly delivers. I can't I might disagree with this or that, but at the end of the day, the formulas and and the products, they great products. And I even think that NutriBio doesn't get as much respect, maybe perhaps as they should in terms of formulas. I'm not talking because NutriBio gets a bit of a rep for flavoring issues and stuff, but they did step up with that, I believe. And on top of it, flavors and taste and all that is super, super subjective. At the end of the day, it comes down to formulas and how well you know them and how well you pack the product and you load the product and deliver to your consumers. And that is something that to be respected. But the bottom line is ingredients are very, very expensive. Most of the ingredients, they went up through the roof. So nothing but respect to the companies who actually deliver each and every time they release a new product or updated product. They consistently, they don't try to cut corners and under deliver. They deliver on point, and it's a shame that that industry insiders don't give them enough credit for whatever reason. I mean, we know what the reason is, but the bottom line is, no matter what, even if you disagree with somebody, and God knows I disagree with a lot of people, but you always give respect where respect is due, and those companies, they do deliver. So, congratulations to them, because to me, that's what commands respect.
Yeah, man. Very, very well put. I guess, how do we go about it? Maybe it doesn't have to be us doing it specifically, but how do you bring more recognition to the brands that don't necessarily get as much as they should? They've got the formulas, they've got the science behind the thing, they've even got good looking labels, but how do you get it even more in front? Because
that's an easy answer. That's an easy answer, and you are actually the answer. Everybody knows that you are employed by certain companies. You're an independent contractor, right? You're not under contract with any specific company that you work exclusively. Am I right?
Right. Yeah.
You have a number of companies. I mean, and you don't have to disclose it, but let's say a dozen, right? Let's say just a number. Mm-hmm. How many companies are there in the industry? Dozens and dozens and thousands, right? So a lot. The bottom line is you're getting paid to write an article or to advise on a formula, or, to do what you do. Yeah. That's what the companies are paying you for. But now if I'm going to present you with a formula, since you do have 2 or 3 podcasts that you do, and I'm a fan, I'm going to ask you a question like, Robert, well, here's a formula, take out the fact that, don't be biased, just be honest and tell us about this specific formula, no matter whose formula it is.
Yeah.
What are you going to say? Now, here's the thing is you getting paid to write an article or to do content for a specific company. Mm-hmm. But that should not restrict you, for moral reasons, to be an asshole and completely ignore companies that are not paying you. You don't have to break down the ingredients. You don't have to go into specifics if you don't want to, although it wouldn't hurt if you did. How is it hurting you?
Right.
I'm proud of the fact that you are working with us, with Apollon, mm-hmm. and I'm not hiding that fact. There is nothing wrong with you supporting your family and paying your bills. Yeah. At the same time, I know that you also work with NutriBar and a number of other companies that you may want to or don't want to disclose for whatever reason. But the bottom line is, when you see a formula, if I may ask you, do you work, for example, with Naughty Boy?
No, I do not.
No. So if we're going to post a formula right now of Naughty Boy, are you going to ignore it? Or if it's a good formula, you're going to plead the fifth and you're not going to say anything just because he doesn't pay you? No, you're going to say that it's a kick-ass formula because it is a kick-ass formula. In the future, you might work with them, you might not work with them. But for moral reasons and for your credibility, for your integrity, you will be the biggest piece of shit if you ignored it and said, well, they're not paying me, well, fuck them. I don't think that actually paints you in a good light. So I think the answer is guys like you. Lukasz is working with Prometeus, and I've seen on his page companies, and I'm sorry, Lukasz, for saying it. I mean, you don't have to comment whatsoever. I've seen some companies that he not really promotes, but he just points out that they sell, and I'm like, nothing special. But that doesn't matter. What matters is he works for Prometeus, he's loyal to the company, and it is his job to post and promote and endorse companies that they're carrying, that they're selling, and whatnot. But at the same time, Lukasz, how many times Prometeus doesn't carry Apollon? Well, not yet. But the bottom line is, Lukasz and I have been friends for now 2 years or so, right?
Yeah.
So he goes online and he gives props to me. He gives props to companies that Prometeus doesn't sell. I only think that he deserves respect for that. He is not getting fired by Prometeus for saying that a certain company is good. Nobody is stopping him from talking about Apollon. Nobody is stopping you from talking about companies that you don't work with. So the answer is right here. The answer is right here, that companies like Apro, companies like Morphogen, companies that don't pay you, Lukasz, or even me, because I do the podcast with you guys, I could fucking get like $50 or something like that and lie. But the problem is we're going to get caught. Just like we catch Price Plow, just like we catch Ryan, just like we catch all these guys who are promoting crap because they're getting paid, we could do exactly the same thing. But we're not doing it. Yeah. We're giving actual props and we're giving respect to the companies who are doing a phenomenal job. What do you think we're accomplishing by that? We're accomplishing by that credibility. People know that they can trust us. And if we're talking about money, maybe somebody's going to hire us for something. Maybe somebody's going to give us an opportunity. Maybe it helps us with self-promotion as well. Like, look, guys, we're not going to fucking lie to you. We're not going to push garbage on you.
Yeah.
So I think this is where it starts. And I think, I mean, not to tune our own horn, but I think we already made a huge impact. We already cost some shit for certain companies, and deservedly so. We also cost some shit to certain individuals, and also rightfully so, because we open eyes, even if it's 1 out of 1,000 people, that we open his eyes, like, listen, you can't trust that piece of shit because he's lying to you. Then I think we achieved something. Revolution and changes in any industry or any environment, it takes somebody to have the balls to call somebody out. And especially, what do you have to lose? What does Lukasz have to lose? What do I have to lose if it's true? Yeah. You know, nobody can fucking fight us on facts. Nobody. What are you going to do? But I think if we said that this product that has, I don't know, 10 milligram of tyrosine and 1 gram of citrulline and, 2 grams of caffeine, and we would say, and it's a prop blend, and we would say, oh, this is a game changer. This is a phenomenal product just because we got caught. Well, guys like you and him and me will catch you. How are you going to fight it? How are you going to fight the truth? You're going to hate? Okay, you're going to hate, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah, very, very good point, man. Very good point. That was something that Aaron and I had talked about, Aaron at Performax and I had talked about several years ago, because when CJ and I were doing reviews, we would say, this was back, 2017, maybe we were saying this, like, Performax had great formulas. They've always done really solid formulas, and we'd say, how are they underrated? Or we would say they're under the radar brand or something. That was just something that, it's a compliment in one sense of the word, but at the same time, as a brand owner, it's something, Aaron and I were talking about. It's like, how do you, where's the thing to get your brand out there? Is more putting ad dollars into Google? Is it going to like the pay to play, like advertising supplement sites out there? Is it word of mouth? Is how do you generate that stuff to get them up to those? And this goes across the board. Just elevate each brand to that next echelon where they're exposed to more and more consumers and they get more mainstream. So it's always an interesting thing. And so I like to see how, I guess, all of our views or opinions on it evolve the longer we're in this industry and the more relationships and mistakes and, good experiences we have.
Oh, 100%. And I think the evolution is definitely taking place. It's slow as fuck, no doubt about it. It's moving, but it is moving in the right direction. We only one channel, and I'm going to say this. I take tremendous pride in what we are doing. We might come off, or maybe I might come off as an asshole most of the time, but I still, what people don't understand, some people don't understand, most do. Mm-hmm. I don't do it out of hate. If you have a shitty product, if I'm representing Apollon Nutrition, and I'm not here representing Apollon Nutrition, I'm here as a part of a group of people from different companies, different brands, and different, entities. We do a podcast. If somebody wants to shit on Apollon, ask a question, and we've had that before, where somebody questioned me or questioned the brand. I don't have a problem with that, because I have absolutely nothing to hide. But you know what? I was a little bit skeptical at first. Should I be talking shit about other brands, considering that I have a brand? And that answer came a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week. I saw a boxing coach who posted a video about another boxing coach and criticized him. And I'm like, what the fuck? So there was a bunch of kids training boxing, and they were punching each other in the face, like almost full force. That's how the training was going. Like they were punching each other on the chin, and the coach was encouraging that. I mean, he was encouraging basically kids to really hit each other hard. I mean, like hard on the chin, which is obviously terrible approach and dangerous approach. So this other coach who posted it, he said, well, that coach is a piece of shit, and he should not be allowed to train kids, and he should not be allowed to train anyone, because he's terrible, and he sucks, and he's dangerous. Yeah. So after that, my perspective kind of changed, and like, you know what? I will talk about other brands, and if they have a problem with that, they can come live and discuss it. We'll be more than happy to hear their story. We can have a conversation. We can have a healthy debate. I have no problem with that. But the bottom line is we are called the final scoop. So we give people the final scoop. And if you noticed, none of the brands, except Aaron, I would say to an extent, and I guess it had more to do with me, had the balls to come out after all the criticism, X and Sledge, Caged Muscle. They all know, they do know that we criticize them. They all know. They fully aware of that. But none of them had the balls or the courage to come and talk to us. Come and talk to us, prove us wrong. You're not going to prove us wrong. But if you have the audacity to release a shitty formula, charge people top dollar for it, then you know what? You give us a green light to say what we think is best. And nobody's attacking you. Nobody says like, you know what? Oh, you're a shit company. If we say that they do something horribly wrong, or, or they mislead, or they misinform, or they make false, statements, then it's right in front of everybody. We're not making this shit up. You're putting it on a label, you're putting it in a product. So if you put a good product, like Jeff Long does, or Morphogen, we're going to praise you for it. Great fucking job. You did a phenomenal formula. You clearly care about your customers. But if you did a shitty job, I'm sorry, gloves are off. You kind of asked for it, so no hard feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Very, very good point. Alex, Lukasz out there creating long-lasting relationships. I do wish more people were like Lukasz. I inspire to be as compassionate and resourceful as he is. That's why he is a superstar.
100%.
Okay, so we got Streetheart sucking up to Shane. We got Alex sucking up to Lukasz for the next giveaway, man. You and I are doing something wrong, Robbie.
I'm speechless.
I think it's the name. Nobody likes our names.
Thank you very much for the kind words, Alex.
Thank you.
And for the supporting the podcast.
I really appreciate that.
Mitch, people got to realize that prices are going up just like everything else, especially because of supply chain issues.
True.
Absolutely. Jiffy, hey y'all, happy Turkey Day. Happy Turkey Day to you too, Jiffy. Brooke, did someone say Morphogen? Yeah, Brooke is the Morphogen narc on here. Happy Thanksgiving. Same to you. Hope you had a good one in Florida.
We really gotta get the ban on the podcast.
Yes, we do.
Good guy.
Jojo, when formulating sups, how do you make sure each scoop has the same amount of each ingredient? Excellent question. This is a manufacturing thing. Basically, they dump all the bulk ingredients into this giant mixer. They spin it around and they put it through a blender that pulverizes and mixes everything and tosses it and churns it and everything. So it makes it this nice, evenly distribute. Each ingredient is evenly distributed in there. And then that's why they always tell you to kind of shake the tub because stuff will settle and you need to shake it, make sure it doesn't get all clumpy and caked together. So that's really the only way they can do it is they have industrial grade machines that shake the shit out of it.
Me and Shane always laugh, with this shake thing. I always say, shake the tub before use. But basically, that's exactly how it works, Some ingredients will go up on top and some ingredients that are like, with more weight will go down. So yeah, basically shake not only the shaker that you are using the sup with, but before that, shake the entire top.
Yeah. Warm Thanksgiving for sure. Yes, South Florida. That it is pretty warm there, I imagine. It's cold here in New Orleans. It's in the 50s for us today. 60s yesterday.
How much Celsius is this?
Fuck. Come on, you got to work in freedom units with me, man. Here.
10, 12.
6 degrees Fahrenheit. Celsius. Let me see. 13 degrees Celsius.
Bro, that's like middle of spring.
A warm sunny day in Poland.
Right now, it's 1 degree Celsius here in my place.
Okay, so 60. It says 62. It was in the 50s when I woke up this morning. It's 62 degrees now. So what is that?
15, 17.
16 degrees.
Bro,
Celsius.
that's a fucking
Summer.
Yeah, summer. Yeah.
75 freedom units in Florida. Oh my goodness. All right, Jiffy, Robbie, is there a non-stem nootropic coming to Apollon?
Robert is too slow to help me. He has no time for me. So, it's in the works.
Too busy changing the game with everybody else.
Yeah. So we working. Actually, we finished the formula that is, it's not non-stem, but it's very low stem. We're hoping that it's going to be early 2022.
Yeah, I'm excited about that formula. That's going to be a good one. Did we get all of the other comments? Yes.
Things that are live, just like ketchup.
Yeah. Keep all the comments and questions rolling, guys. We'll be on until Lord Shane, first of his name, late ass son of a bitch that he is, will join us on the podcast. Maybe we'll see, or maybe not. Maybe he told us off after last week's show that he wasn't going to be on for 1 week. I thought it was next week. Maybe it's this week.
Maybe it's this week. Yeah, maybe he messed up something.
Yeah, we've got a birthday party next Saturday morning, but I'll still be here for the podcast. It's not Sophia's birthday; it's one of her little kids from that she goes to school with. It's their birthday party.
I messaged him on Facebook, but he's not responding. So I'm guessing he's probably busy.
It's too good
or he's sleeping.
I'm gonna bet on that one. So,
Yeah.
All right, let's go through the Stack 3D news feed, and we can delve through a couple of formulas and see what we got.
Yeah, man.
If there's anything worth. Hold on, Brooke just came in with something. Let me stop sharing this for a second. Let's see what that is. New nootropic? I'm all ready. Tried the Glaxon Gamer. Definitely a minimum 3 scoop. Whoa.
Yeah, that one actually, I got quite a few questions about that one.
Yeah, let's maybe talk about Glaxon and their like new releases, because they launched some new stuff. Plus, they're coming out with the protein powder. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, let me pull up. Where's the? All right, let me find the gamer.
Did you guys already like read the info about the Glaxon and so on?
Yeah, I got. I don't want to say from who, but I got a question about it, and when I looked at it, I mean, we'll discuss it now. So it's coming.
All right, here's Goon mode. Nootropic and energy. So let's see if we can go in here. This will give us a little bit better. All right, there we go. 1 scoop, 5 grams. We got the bioavailable forms of all the essential B vitamins for energy production, neurotransmitter synthesis, all that good stuff. We've got their Astrolite blend, which we've seen in Astrolite in their pump pre-workout plasma surge and all that stuff. So that's that solid 1,000 milligram dose that we've kind of seen everywhere in the products they've used. 333.7 milligrams of vitacholine. I find this as an interesting inclusion because they had their cholinase blend, which was a blend of choline bitartrate as vitacholine, alpha GPC, and CDP choline. I'm wondering why they're opting for this route versus something else. 250 of L-tyrosine. Now, obviously, this is not supposed to be meant to be a 1 scoop formula. You look at most of Glaxon's stuff, it's that 20, 22 servings, 21 servings, somewhere around there. So, extrapolating that methodology to it, you would assume this is probably 2 to 3 scoops on average for the average individual. Inositol for brain health.
Yeah, but that's like such a small dose, 125 milligrams.
Guys, so let's talk about this. So somebody, I'm not going to disclose his name because he's pretty well known in the industry, and I didn't ask his permission if I can use his name. But he sells these products. He sells most of the products by a lot. I mean, he's a reseller online, but he's well known. So he was actually very negative about this formula. He bought it because Glaxon it's a popular brand. It's a well-known brand. So he bought it without even looking at the formula, which is sometimes it happens. We also had the owner of DPS, Doug, told us, he goes, when you come up with a new product, just send it to me, and that's it. So it's good when a company is respected like that, or at least popular. So when he looked at the formula, he sent me the formula because, to be honest with you, I didn't even look at it. And he asked me to discuss this on the final scoop because he was very, very unhappy about it. Number one, he sent me the price, and the price, I believe, is either $50 or $55 retail. Even at 60 servings. Yeah. Where is this? Well, that's a sale right now. That's a
Right.
sale going on right now. But the price is, the retail price is $50. So $50, even at 60 servings, I'm sorry, it's a no. It's a big no. Definitely no. You know, we said that about Axe and Sledge when we compared it to, I believe, like a Pro or somebody like that. And we said that, you know, it's overpriced. So this formula is definitely overpriced, without a doubt. Now, another issue is you know, like Brooke pointed out, 3 scoops or, you know, whatever. And Robert said also like 3-4 scoops. Well, actually, if you look at the suggested use, it's a 1 scoop. But they say for advanced users, use 2 scoops. I'm sorry, but even at 2 scoops, this is a beginner's formula. At 2 scoops, I mean, it offers minimal at most. You know, that's just the fact. It's seriously on a 1 scoop because they're presenting it as a 1 scoop 60 servings. On a 1 scoop, it is very lightly dosed. This is what we usually typically would call underdosed. That's just the fact. However, if you look at it even at 2 scoops, right? So at 2 scoops, you would see this is a 30 serving formula, right? And this is a gaming kind of a focus, one of those formulas, correct?
Yeah.
Now, at $50 retail price for 30 servings, now this week, specifically this week, there was another product that was released that did not get as much, not even close, not even 5% of the same recognition or respect, just because they didn't pay certain people. And that's that's Like a Pro released his nootropic formula. The one that we actually discussed a couple of weeks ago was released this week. And it's 30 servings, and it shits. I mean, literally shits all over this formula. It's not even fucking close. This brings us to exactly what we were talking earlier. What's the difference? So Glaxon did release a product, and it seems like part of the investment was, instead of investing in a product, they paid Ben to, you know, and Price Paul, obviously, to glamorize and, you know, and blow this out of proportion. But the fact remains is, it doesn't even come close to this particular formula by Jeff Long. I mean, that's like day and night. And how much is the retail price here? I mean, I'm sure it's more, but 70. Okay, so I mean, this is look at the serving size. The serving size 5 grams versus what is the serving size here? And we're not even talking about the dosing of the ingredients.
30 servings,
And what's the per scoop?
9.3 grams per scoop.
9.3. So you get double, but look at each and every ingredient, how properly it is dosed. And even at 60 servings, I mean, there is absolutely no competition. It cannot compete. It just clearly cannot compete. But this formula went very much under the radar because clearly, you know, it didn't sponsor industry leaders. But, you know, I mean, we're just saying that today you can blow up any product, just like Axe and Sledge, Nootropic, which, you know, what, $50? $50 for what? That product doesn't contain anything remotely close to what it's supposed to deliver, or at least what it claims to be delivering. Yet it's called what? Intellectual intelligence, or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said previously, it insults my intelligence to call it anything remotely close to it. I'm sorry, that's just, you know, if we are keeping it straight and we're keeping it honest, the only reason why this product is so hyped up, because it is hyped up. I mean, thank you for keeping it transparent, but you know what? To say that this is game changer, or this is like, you know, something revolutionary or outstanding or best on the market, I don't see this particular formula even as a top 5 or perhaps maybe even top 10. Is it a bad product? I don't think it's a bad product. I just think it's a very, very, very light product, especially considering the price.
Maybe I'm too stupid to understand the synergy of these ingredients, you know, and how this formula, you know, act. But, you know, looking at it from the, you know, just like a paper standpoint, I just don't understand how this formula, can be good. It's just maybe it's just me, and like I said, I'm not a super,
Yes, you are. Yes, you
super,
are.
super.
Lucas, you're knowledgeable. I mean, you're humble, and I appreciate that. But the fact remains is, you know exactly what you're talking about, and this is, well, it's pretty apparent what it is.
Yeah, man, but I just want to say, I'm not that smart as Joey, or Michael. So, I'm just saying it as it is, and from my standpoint, looking at this formula, I'm just like, okay, we are seeing like some ingredients on every, batch that they are producing, which is okay, which is fine. But at the same time, it's like I don't see it works. Maybe they did it just for like regular people that just like to game, and they don't like super higher dosages. But even still, if that the price should be like twice as lower than this, because it's like $50 for like for this kind of top. So for example, for an advanced person that wants to have like a higher dosages, he will run this top for in like what, 2 weeks? Not even that, because he will definitely take more than 2 scoops. I would definitely smash 3 scoops per day. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I haven't talked to Joey about this formula. I haven't used it in person, so everything we're saying is based off the dosages of the ingredients that we typically know work when we're using isolation, stuff that we've been used around. I do like the Brain Factor 7. I've only seen one other nootropic ever use it, and I really like that nootropic. These dosages, I don't quite understand them. I would like to get some understanding of them for why Joey chose them in this specific order. Just at a first glance, they seem on the lower end to me, like Robbie was saying. But there's a couple of things that also kind of play into this. I think your average gamer, which this is the product's target for, I don't think it's targeted to like the elite gamer or like the super nootropic nerds like we are. The average gamer, and both Shane and Gerhard have told me this, like they just want like a little bit of caffeine and some light focus stuff. Like they don't want something as hard hitting as something like Overtime or Nootropimax, where you get that like new pep in there, and it like has your brain going at 1,000 miles an hour kind of thing. Like they want just a little. That's why they crush monsters all the time, because it's a little bit of caffeine and just got some other dusting of some other stuff. So maybe by
Yeah,
this,
but
I
if
think
that's
maybe that's where they're going with it. I'm
No,
not.
they're not. No, they're
okay,
not.
hold on.
They're not. They
If that's
don't.
the case, should you think that the price is accurate in this case?
No, I don't. I don't know if the price is worth that. No, I don't. I mean,
Well,
I don't see it's not.
That's my point.
here is how I can sum it up. And like again, fully honest about this. The price is definitely, when we're talking about retail price, $50, way too much. Even it says 60 servings. Lucas is correct questioning it. It's too high of a price. In terms of low dose of nootropics, I 100% agree with you again. 100% agree. Some people want a lower dosage, but nobody wants a low 250 milligram of tyrosine. That's for sure. And I can tell you this: if you take again Jeff Long's product, it's a very very low stim. It's extremely low stim,
Yeah.
but yet everything else delivers on a fucking spectacular level. Absolutely spectacular. All clinically dosed. Everything. I saw what Brooks said that maybe Joey can justify this. No, he can't. He can't justify this. The justification is very, very simple. It's saving money. That's it. It's saving money. It's cutting corners. It's giving a product that costs minimum and trying to get maximum out of it. And then you take again, and I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I will, because I don't have a choice. And it's very, very valid right now, because you give some of the money that could have been invested in a product, and you give it to Price Plow to say that this is blah, 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 the way they do things. And boom, you have something that is advertised pretty much. Yet Price Plow past Robert, criticized the hooligan. And I said that before. I'm going to say it for those that haven't heard this story before. They criticized hooligan for 750 milligram of tyrosine per serving. 750 milligram. Everything else passed. Caffeine, we were told, was a little bit too high. at the time. And then tyrosine was too low for their liking, was 750. Well, hello. I mean, don't you think that you're being hypocrites right now? Because there was not one word, at least, and I searched for it, that 250 milligram of tyrosine is too low. I didn't find one thing negative about it. Yet then he's using Hooligan, the one that was criticized, to compete in a powerlifting meet, which was also proven. So the bottom line is like I said, you can take any product and you can, I mean, it's not just Glaxon. It's not just this product in particular. You can take any product that you see infomercials, you see them on TV. And even a crappy product, I'm not saying this is crappy, I'm just saying this is, let's call it lightly dosed. You can take a shit product and see it on TV, advertised by a huge celebrity or something like that, and they're going to say it's the best on the market without even blinking. So what did they do? They released a product, for example, that costs like $2 to manufacture, and they're selling at retail for 50, 60, 70, or $80. But the rest of the money was invested into advertising, because good advertising, good promoting, good hyping, or let's call it for what it is, good bullshitting, using somebody who is popular or hot or knowledgeable, it's much better than putting all that money into product. Because if you are a big company and you're going to manufacture thousands and thousands and thousands of units, it's better for you to take that money into advertising and then make huge profit of making a cheaper product. I mean, we all know how it works. So, I mean, we call it as it is. I never said that it's a bad product, but it's, again, I'm being nice right now because I have utmost respect for Joey. It's a very, very lightly dosed product and far from what it is presented to be.
Yeah. And maybe like I don't know how expensive Brain Factor 7 is. I mean, I know a lot of companies don't use it. It, like all trademarked ingredients, it's going to be super expensive. That being said, I don't know. I'll text Joey when we get off of here and see if he'd be up to either we can get him on the group panel and discussion, or him and I can just do it like jam on a podcast or just nerding about ingredients and stuff like that. If he doesn't want to do a group discussion, just do it like a one-on-one thing. We'll see. And
Robert, here's your answer from Brooke. That's your answer. It's right there.
Got it for free. I can definitely say it is more of an additional supplement for use with a pre-workout. I combined it with Endurelin and had a smooth ride.
Mm-hmm. That's the same thing as somebody I knew that used to work for, so obviously I'm not going to say his name, but he used to work for Europa, right? Mm-hmm. So that was a couple of years ago. I would say maybe 5 years ago. So he said that representatives from Cellucor had a meeting with Europa guys, training them how to sell C4. I mean, obviously, probably the lightest version or whatever.
Yeah.
And he said that one of the pitch that how to use Cellucor, how to use C4, was as flavoring for your favorite pre-workout.
Wow.
And so this is exactly what Brooke just said. Just a little addition to the real deal that she was using. Yeah. I mean, that's your customer, that's your consumer. So if your consumer is not here, I mean, can you imagine using, I don't know, like a pro product as an addition? Obviously not. Can you see using Assassin as an addition to your favorite pre-workout? Obviously not. So that's your answer. And again, Brooke clearly knows her shit because she's a fan of Morphogen, so she obviously knows quality supplements. But she's using it as probably as intended. I mean, That's your customer speaking.
But you remember, guys, when we talked about Case when they launched their pre-workout sport, and after like a week or so, Shane said that they, the price was adjusted, so we knew that the price was how can I say, on a good rate. So, yeah. Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you.
Lord is back in town.
First of his name, last to join the podcast, Smith, Stack 3D, has joined the podcast.
And before you say anything, might I add...
New haircut.
Tight, clean haircut.
Yeah.
Lord
I finally got a fucking haircut.
He looks smooth. He sounds great. But he overslept. What the fuck?
You know, the strangest thing is, I was sitting there, I was going, maybe I should make an excuse, and I was like, it's way more funny if you just make an excuse. So I went off at my alarm, and then I was like, I have 10 more minutes to sleep. So I put a timer on my phone for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then Nikki, 9 o'clock, she's like, dude, you missed the fucking podcast. And then I was like, the fuck? And I rolled over, and as I grabbed my phone and unlocked the screen, then it starts blaring. And I was like, oi, motherfucker, what is this? But usually my daughter wakes me up. She is not here today. So it's her fault.
Blame Ava. That's fine. Yeah. That's good.
Fuck all the timers and the alarms. It's her fault.
Sending Robbie a Price Plus shirt for Hanukkah. There you go, Robbie.
I'll probably wear it too.
Brooke, I would never buy it if a certain somebody would release their new tropic. ... We're covering Glaxon's. Good.
Yeah, we are talking about Glaxon, new tropic.
We're talking about Goon mode, because a couple people had asked a request for kind of a breakdown on it, and we were just kind of saying it's like you and I had talked about this, and I've had the same conversation with Gerhard. Like, you just want a little bit of caffeine. You don't want this fully loaded assault on your neurotransmitters and to get you super jacked up and tunnel vision. You just want a little kind of a bump to get you going. Yeah. And then we kind of just started going down the deal, and we're talking about price justification for Glaxon versus something like the new a pro supplement that just dropped. And so that's kind of where we're at.
The cerebral focus.
Yeah. So that's the kind of the ones that we're going through right now. And I just said,
see, I still think that Goon mode is a gaming product, and I still think they got another one coming. I don't know if they do. Because
cause I was talking to Gerhard, his stack now is the Glaxon Neuro, Glaxon Goon mode, and Hybrid. And he's got, I don't remember what game, maybe it's Call of Duty or something else, but he sent me the log of his scores, because he's got software that actually tracks his performance. And when he does that stack of the Glaxon products, it's absurdly expensive, and your average person probably won't be able to do that or wouldn't do that. But he says his performance has been the best it's been in 2 years using those 3 products based on the metrics that his software AI stuff has been tracking.
But Robert, you know what? That's exactly what we discussed. You and we discussed it on the phone. The reason why so many people reached out about this product, because it's overpriced, it's definitely underdosed, and and when you have to stack so many products to get the results that you want to get, I don't think you're advertising the product properly. Because the thing is that, some of the products you can get on their own and they perform great. Then if you want to stack them with other products, they perform even better. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the whole point. But you know what? If I'm going to say, and remember we talked about it, with Resistance. Resistance retail price is what, $60 or $70. But if you go and buy each and individual ingredient, it's going to come to over $100, a lot more. So, can you get a good immune protection or immune boost from using vitamin C separately and vitamin D separately and zinc separately and all that? Of course, absolutely, no problem. But at the end of the day, it's going to ramp up the price quite a bit. And not everybody, especially in today's economy and everything that is going on today with inflated prices, not everybody can afford that. So, somebody like Gerhard, that's not I understand what he's saying, and I fully believe him, because I think he's a great guy and I like him a lot. But the truth is a lot of industry insiders, Review Brothers are selling their pre-workouts right now. They're selling them. Garage Gym Home, he's selling his pre-workouts as well, because he's trying to make money. All those pre-workouts they're getting for free, or they're definitely not paying for them. So some of those, guys like Price Plow, Fitness Informant, including Gerhard, they're getting often, I'm not saying all the time, but very, very often they get the luxury of trying the products either for free or trying them for maybe a very, very substantially reduced price. But the average guy who is buying, a full price product or gets a little 10-15% discount, right now, Time Cop sells retail for what, $60-$70? But go and try to buy Overtime and go buy Bare Knuckle, that's going to cost you over $100. And, some people will do so, and they will get the results that they want. But a lot of people are going to say, that's a little bit steep. So because between buying, a container of protein and multivitamin and, and God knows what else, I mean, we are talking about $200, $300, $400, $500, every month expenses. That's a lot. That's a lot. Not everybody can afford that.
Yeah. Well put.
Imagine what I have to do to stack all the ingredients that like a Pro just released. If I'm going to stack all those ingredients together, it's going to cost me arm and leg. But even though the product is not cheap, but now I have all my ingredients that are actually useful, that are fully dosed, still a low stim product. Yeah. I get them all in one convenient package that is, it's priced as a premium product, but it is a premium product. And I honestly don't really need to add anything to it. I mean, I can, maybe 1 or 2 ingredients, which is not going to cost me much, but I don't need to add like 3 or 4 fucking expensive products.
Yeah.
What's the price of the like a Pro, the Nootropic?
70 before any discount codes or anything like that. It's 70 on the site, so you can probably you might be able to get like.
See, I'm kind of like more on the.
How much servings you got?
30
servings.
30. All right.
I'm more on the Robic side.
Yeah, so I'm definitely also on Robic side here as well. You can pay a bit more, but you got a product that is dosed on basically every aspect. You don't need like any extra fancy stuff to add on top of that. So yeah, man. Plus,
but the thing is that I'm sorry.
If you're buying Glaxon product, let's say, you definitely need at least like 2 tubs, because one would like last you maybe like I don't know, 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks maximum or something.
See, I'm a little bit different on that one. See, I like the idea of getting all my shit into one. Like, I have a limit of 3 supplements a month.
Agree.
I don't have any more than that. Like, that's not including like a pre-workout.
Yeah,
but like if you're,
I'm same as you exactly.
Yeah,
I'm talking in general, So
yeah. But for me, like when it's like for Goon mode, I really like it. I've had it for the last. I don't have it like if I need, I guess, higher energy, I have overtime. But if I'm mildly tired or not tired and just looking for something, then I've used it quite a bit. And the thing is, it's got I think it's a 60 serving.
Glaxon.
And then they have, I haven't had the 3. I don't go, it's the same with overtime. I don't use the it's kind of like the approach to how they say like, oh, if you want a women's pre-workout, just have half of the regular one, but then you don't get the maximum dosages of the full scoop. But that's kind of like me with overtime. Like I don't use the 8 capsules. I think the most I've used so far is like 3 or 4. 4 lights me up like shit. Like, that's on a day that I really need to get going. I have 4. So I don't get the maximum amount of any of the ingredients, but that shit still works. Like, I don't think that if you had the full dosages and less stims, that it would, I guess, make me too much more, like, I don't know, productive or focused. But it's like, I get a good enough fucking everything in it. And that's the same with Goon mode. It's not as, I guess, comprehensive, but it ticks all the boxes, especially for a gaming product, which is what, I still think that is what it is, because it was originally Goon Gamer or whatever the fuck it was, I think. And then it evolved into this. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a second nootropic that's meant to...
Well,
I guess replacing adrenal. I don't know.
Before you joined us, the whole point of discussion was that I actually got this formula because I didn't look into Goon at all. I got it from a retailer that says online, and like I said, I don't want to disclose his name because I don't think he wants to. And he was absolutely, I'm going to go as far as saying disgusted. He actually just texted me with the retail price of it. And at the end of the day, it is very, very lightly dosed. And we're not talking about stims. We're not talking about stims at all. We're talking overall, like Brooke just said. Brooke is your consumer. It's not us. It's the consumer. She said that she got it for free, that she wouldn't buy it. Not only that, she's using it as an addition to another product because obviously it's very, very light. It doesn't justify the price. Certain ingredients are definitely underdosed. And the bottom line is it is inflated. I didn't say not once that it's a bad product. I said it's a very lightly dosed product. And even for a gamer, if you look, because we're saying that, some gamers or most gamers, they prefer a product that is very lightly dosed in terms of, but we are talking about lightly dosed when it comes to stimulants. They don't want to get overly stimulated. Yeah. So like a Pro has very light stimulants, extremely light stimulants, but everything else is like so well dosed, but they didn't get the same coverage or the same respect, not nearly as Goon, even though it shits all over Goon in terms of as a product. But the only place that people would find out about it is basically from Jeff Long advertising the product on his own page or Stacked. Nowhere else did it get the same level of respect or response as Goon. But yet, it's if we're talking about, say, what was released this week, then this product by Jeff Long is amazing. It's an amazing product that is definitely, didn't get the coverage and the response and the respect that it clearly deserved, because that product, that formula is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I wonder.
And light.
Huh?
And very, very low stim.
Yeah. I wonder if it's, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe
I feel like
testing the water with the gaming supplement market, and like this is like the V1, and then like the V2 will be even more fleshed out kind of thing. If that's what's going on.
Because like they're doing two creatines, and they got the two different proteins right out of the gate. They got the two different versions of their amino. They're a very specialized brand, and from adrenal to this, and I guess you got Neuros 365 to offset that a bit, but I know it just started as a gaming supplement, and they were teasing that when Adrenal was around, so I just assumed that this wouldn't necessarily be a replacement, but for the time being. But that Jeff Long one, my suspicion with that is obviously because Jeff Long's brand's not as, I guess, as big or popular as Glaxon, but I mean it's pretty close. But Jeff Long's one, if you remember, he previewed that in August, early August, and then he previewed again in September, and he revealed the formula. So I feel like I've always noticed that when you, let's just say you tease a supplement in January and then launched it in October, it's not going to be as hyped if you teased it in September and launched it in October. So his didn't have as much shock value, I feel, because people were waiting for it for so long, and he revealed the formula 2 months ago.
I couldn't agree more. I definitely agree with you on that.
I wonder if that played a part, because when the formula came out, I was like, holy shit, this is a beast. But then we never saw anything again.
But you know what? I mean, if we are talking, say, for example, you're coming to the United States in a couple of months, and I'm going to tell you right now, you know what? When you get here, we're going to cook a fucking 50-ounce steak. It's going to be impressive. It's going to be cool. Once you get here, trust me, the 50-ounce steak is still going to be very, very impressive because it is a fucking 50-ounce steak. So, yes, I do agree with the fact that it was previewed very, very, maybe even prematurely, maybe a little bit, so the excitement could be lost. But at the end of the day, when you put the two formulas back, next to each other, I mean, we are talking fucking ninja and a little kid. I mean, that's just a fact. But and I disagree with you on one thing. Like a Pro, not nearly as known and as popular as Glaxon, because they also have a little bit different approaches. Like a Pro is slightly more expensive, more reputable too, but it also more direct to the consumer because of the prices and product and whatnot. Yeah. But so they have different approaches. Also, don't forget, like a Pro is a very tiny little company that is ran primarily by Jeff, and I believe his wife is involved. He doesn't have no formulators. He doesn't have salespeople. He handles his own orders. It's a one-man operation, which makes it very, very impressive. He also manufactures with a contract manufacturer, while Glaxon, they manufacture their own products. So they have the luxury, which means for them, it's a lot cheaper to manufacture than for Jeff Long. So if Jeff Long paid, for example, I'm just, I'm throwing a number, so don't take it seriously. If Jeff Long is paying, say, for example, $20 for his product, which I actually would not put past that. I would actually expect that this product could cost, especially in today's market, as much as $20. That means Glaxon, that has a fracture of the ingredients, a real fracture of the ingredients, is definitely a lot less, because even at 30 servings, at 2 scoops, it's still way, way, way under those compared to Jeff Long. So their product the price is maybe a quarter of that. Now, keep in mind also that they do their own manufacturing, which means the cost of raw materials and everything else is also a lot cheaper than it would be for Jeff Long, which makes Jeff Long's product even more impressive. And if you want to get the same results in terms of focus and everything else like you would get from Jeff Long's product, how many fucking scoops of Goon you have to use to get to that level? That would be half a tub. Something like that. So, I also don't think that Jeff Long has those capabilities to promote his product as well, because I saw it on Snoop, because I know that they're friends. I saw it on Jeff Long's page, and I saw it on Stacked. I didn't see it anywhere else. But if you look at, my friend who owns the retail company that was very, very pissed about Goon, I said it before you joined us, he said he bought it automatically based on hype, and based on the fact that it's Glaxon, which is relatively, known and popular brand. But once he paid for it and once he got it, only then he looked at the label, and that's when he got pissed, and he sent me the label, and and I'll quote without saying, who he is. This is what he sent me. Where is it? Hold on. Because it was very, very interesting. So, and again, guys, I'm just quoting. It didn't come. I can't believe this sells for $50. Dude, this Goon mode is ridiculous. And people will defend it as the perfect ratio. This is shit. This is coming from somebody who is selling it. And, he wanted us to discuss it. And just like that, the consumers and, especially knowledgeable consumers who are using products like a Pro or Morphogen, they say that we use it as an add-on to another product. It's just that. That's it. But like I said, I still don't. I wouldn't call it a shit product because it's fully transparent and it comes from Joey, who again I respect greatly. But it is a very, very lightly dosed product, and it's definitely doesn't. Especially considering it's coming from a manufacturer, because NutraBio manufactures their own products too. But, and their products are fully dosed each and every time. You can't really pick on them. But, if this was a NutraBio product in correlation, this would be $100 product. That's what they would do. That would be their price. But NutraBio would not release something like that. That's the bottom line, because again, they fully dose and they manufacture. So obviously the raw ingredients are also cheaper for them.
Yeah. Forgot to mention liking the Apollon creatine, Robbie. Well done with that.
Thank you.
Moving from Glaxon to another brand that's been doing some good stuff lately. Ninja Up. Let me.
Yeah, I like that argument on Shane's post. That was pretty cool.
Ninja Swole aims to be a comprehensive stimulant-free pre.
What argument was that? Did I miss something?
Between me and Sean?
What do you mean? No. When Shane posted on the new, I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with Ninja specifically as a brand. It had to do with new brand of the year, like.
New brand of the year.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. I don't think you saw it, Lukasz, because it was on Instagram. Shane post. Was it on Instagram, Shane?
I don't fucking know. I don't pay attention to the comments on Instagram.
Yeah, I think that, it was on Instagram. You sent us the screenshot, I believe.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so somebody had, I think Sean had a problem with that. Actually, Lukasz, you were involved too. Yeah.
No, he was just
I responded to Sean on Facebook about that.
Okay. Now I remember. Sean responded to you, and Review Brothers actually responded to Shane on Instagram. So that's what
I was curious if other people were seeing it the same. which was interesting. But I was curious because it was sort of like generally when someone reaches out and says something like,
But we
even though
knock
it
this
might not,
argument down.
yeah, like if they're not, even if it's not an opinion that I agree with, it's worth taking note of. And yeah, no, I think it was basically because obviously Unbound is from NutriBio, so is it technically a new brand? That's a valid point, but I guess for me, I mean, if it was attached to it, like it
Some
was
brand.
NutriBio's Unbound series, then I'd be like, maybe, but it's because it's a completely separate brand. It was never really attached. To me, it's kind of like Chica Lab and Bomba. Bomba has like an entire series called Chica Lab, but I consider it under the Bomba family because it's not really like they promote it all on the same page. It's got it all on the same site. They kind of everything's kind of together.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, because yeah, Ninja and Unbound, and I still think Greg Doucette's brand has done really well this year.
I think your nominations were justified, and I think there is nothing wrong with Unbound being nominated as well. And you know what? I think the fact that it's owned by NutriBio, I think it means absolutely nothing. And I mean, how many big corporations you have in the world that own actually few different brands? It's a very common thing. Like for example, I think that KFC is owned by Pepsi, and I think Pizza Hut too. But I mean, even though it's by the same company, I'm sorry, but you know what? I mean, pizza is pizza, and Pepsi is Pepsi. Over here, you have NutriBio and Unbound. They both supplement companies, and the fact that it's owned by the same, it's under the same umbrella. I don't think anything is wrong with it. I mean, it's a very, very common thing. Lexus and Toyota, it's also the same brand. It's pretty much a very, very common thing in business world. So I don't think that, so because Unbound was born in 2021, correct? So just because it's owned by NutriBio, it should be ignored and disrespected and turn its back on just because it's the same owner. I mean, come on. It's a completely different brand. It's completely different look. It's definitely different approach, different formulations, different everything. And, they absolutely launched it the same way as anyone would launch any brand. Just the fact that it's manufactured on the same premises and it's owned by the same, people behind NutriBio should not be completely ignored. And, Review Brothers' point that just because they didn't review it, then it doesn't count. I also didn't think that it was relevant either.
I'm pretty sure they're just being smartasses.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but this is just a fucking bullshit.
Again, I mean, that's completely irrelevant. I think that, not only, in my humble opinion, not only that Unbound should be nominated, I would go ahead and say they should win.
It's a tight argument right now. I haven't decided anything. It's basically like the variety of Ninja versus, I guess, the more specialized approach of Unbound.
I'll be 100%
at least.
honest. I'll be 100% honest. Once I saw the nominees, straight away I already knew who should win the brand of the year the new brand of the year, and probably I'm not saying it's wrongly here because what Unbound did was just great, and I tried all the product of all the formulas. I stack them together. I take them also slowly. So, in my humble opinion, I just think that Mark did such an amazing job. And for people that think that it's like a sub brand of NutriBio, no, it's totally different marketing. It's a different hype. It was marketed completely differently. And I also think that what they did, differs so much, as far as like formulating their products.
Well, that's another thing is, and Lukasz, you're 100% right. You on the money, and I think this is what's being ignored a lot. I'm not saying that Ninja is, the formulas of the products are not good. They're very good. But you know what? If we are being totally honest and we're totally transparent, then yes, there are a couple, and we even saw one or two products that we discussed that there are some holes in the game. They definitely cannot be ignored. If you want to nitpick completely, then yes, there are certain I would say things in the formulas of Ninja. Not all. I mean, there's one or two products that we actually discussed here. I'm not going to repeat it myself and go over them again, where you could make an argument that, it lacks certain things. But Unbound, I mean, honestly, we cannot even pick on that. We can't, because every fucking ingredient is on the money. Every formula is done with obviously, a very thorough approach where they really fully dose the product. They put a lot into the brand, into the branding, into the release, into everything. And it seems, and it's very, very unfortunate that sometimes, whether it's a brand of the year or new brand of the year or anything of the year, sometimes the formulas are being taken. Not sometimes, I would say most of the time, the formulas and the products themselves are taken for granted. Specifically what I said in the beginning of the podcast, the smaller companies who are putting fucking everything into their products. And NutraBio is actually one of those companies. Maybe it's not exactly small company, but NutraBio does fucking put everything, each and every product, whether you like the flavor or you don't like the flavor, whether you like the product or you don't like the product, whether you use the product or you don't use the product is irrelevant. But you will never be able to pick on a formula because they actually deliver. They fully transparent. Everything is on the money. Everything is there. So what does it say? It says that, the company does have credibility and does have the integrity, and that should also play a huge part in selecting best of anything, and that is being ignored.
And don't forget, there's a watermark on every top of Unbound. If you take a red light, you will see Schinetsky.
Going back to the original part about whether it counts as a separate brand or not, like I agree with Shane. It's a separate, and like what you guys were saying, it is a separate brand. I think it. I mean, if Unbound wins Newcomer of the Year, I don't make any money off of it. I don't get a stipend or praise or trophy or anything like that. That's what I'm saying. But this would be like it's a completely separate brand entirely. Now, if you did something like, I think what NutraBio is working on their signature series or something like that.
You see that?
That's still a brand. Like Core Nutritional's Lifeline, like their health series that just came out. You're not going to put that up for brand of the year because that is a sub-line within a brand. But if you have a completely separate company that come out, like if Apollon started up, I don't know.
Schinetsky Labs. Schinetsky
Labs. There we go. We do that. We do that with Apollon. That's a separate brand. It's got, Robbie and Carolina as the bosses. And then, I'm the geek in the corner. But it's a separate brand. It's not the Apollon brand. So, yeah. Anyway, after we got through that, good discussion, gentlemen. Thoughts on the Ninja Swole non-stem formula? So we got 7 grams of 2,1 Sitmal, 1,500 of Hydro Prime, which is the NNB form of the high-yield glycerol, 1,000 milligrams of agmatine sulfate, 125 of Himalayan pink salt, 100 milligrams of S7. You know how we feel about that. It's not a game changer. It's not hurting the formula here. I don't know if it's doing much of anything. It might. 3,200 of beta-alanine, 2,000 of beta power, 600 of lion's mane. Now, this is the mycelium, not the fruiting body. So about 2/3 of that is just really rice powder, or like oat powder or something like that. 600 milligrams of alpha-GPC, 50 milligrams of micrograms of huperzine, and 50 milligrams of estrogen. And Shane noted it's probably not meant to be stacked together.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
Crazy dose.
Because usually you see brands say, stack them together, or you can buy them together. They're not really pointing that out, but
yeah,
I did think it was interesting that, so I haven't, these dosages that you get from the two aren't, unseen. I've seen these before. 13 grams of citrulline malate isn't, unheard of, and the other two are, I've seen in one supplement. But, I think it's interesting that the ingredients for Focus and the ingredients for pumps are different from what you get in their pre-workout.
Yeah.
Which leads me to believe that maybe they have left a window for you to stack them together. Because I don't buy a stimulant-free pre-workout to take it by itself. I mean,
Right.
I'm buying them to put them together. I ain't doing a workout without stims. I'm in the Lukasz house, But I think it's
30
interesting.
micrograms of huperzine in this one.
Oh, they do have huperzine, I feel like, don't they?
30
But it's
micrograms
not.
of huperzine. Yeah, it's not much. So where if you stack this with this,
Yeah,
you're not going to end up with like 500 micrograms of huperzine in one fell swoop. You're getting.
The only things I thought were of noting were the citrulline and that fat 6.4 beta alanine.
Ooh, they changed the name of Neurofactor. It's now Focus Factor. Look at that. Focus Factor instead of Neurofactor. Interesting.
13 grams of citrulline malate.
That's gonna be interesting on your stomach. That's for sure.
Dude. 16 is where I get the poops.
Yeah. Now this is a very intense stem blend. Like you feel on, like even just doing a half scoop or 2/3 scoop, you are flying on this. So maybe you could do half scoop of this with a full scoop of that, or a half scoop of this and a half scoop of that.
No, Robert. What are you doing? We don't have scoops here. It says servings per container 25. I don't believe it says half servings. Look, it's perfectly matched. 25.
25, okay.
Yeah, man. I don't see. Does it say amount per half? I don't think so.
He's such an asshole.
I don't think so. So you're using it together.
The final half scoop. You didn't realize that?
After
you got your lordship.
You proved your point. The final scoop. So we're doing scoops. This isn't the half scoop. I would say a scoop of each. The beta alanine would be the only worry of mine, just because if you haven't had it, sometimes it can get a bit frustrating.
What about stacking their pump steam-free product with their maybe fat burner or something?
Their nootropic is caffeine free. I know that much. The Ninja Burn, I think that was the one we were talking about earlier. Like that's the hole in the lineup where it's just the dosages just seem strange.
Well, you know what? I mean, we always talk about stacking this and stacking that. I mean, none of these products, most of the time, exactly meant to be. Not that they meant or that they don't come with with intention to stack, because you either want a stem product or you don't want a stem product, a pump product or not a pump product. Stacking is a very, very optional thing that you may or may not want to do. So I don't think we should be approaching, because I feel like we're justifying certain issues or shortings on certain products. I don't think it's important. We have to look at the formula as it is.
Agreed.
And stem is stem, non-stem is non-stem. And just kind of to go back a little bit, I mean, look at day non-stem or pump formula, whatever you want to call it, versus unbound non-stem. There's quite a bit of a difference.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't put a lot of tyrosine in any of their formulas.
Again, they both dominated, but I mean, I'm sorry, like I will take Unbound any day of the week instead of this. And not saying this is bad, but it does have a few holes. And I mean, I'm sorry, just every time I see S7, to me, that's like a red flag, like I see theanine in heavily caffeinated product, pre-workout. It's just like, no.
Yeah, I remember the first time I tried the Unbound, the non-stem.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
I was
the label and the product absolutely 100% deliver.
Yeah. To me, it's like clear winner as far as like these three, because like the harder than last time from Greg Doucet. The brand is fun. It's definitely growing, and what he's doing, he's doing a good job. Especially with the shortage and so on, with the delays, he's still able to release so much good products.
Yeah.
Including right now the Sleep, the Turk S Booster, and he's planning to release more and more. So yeah. Oh yeah, here
Dr.
is
Lopez checking in. Hi, Dr. Lopez. Hope you had
my favorite guy.
Addresses another niche of the total addressable market versus line extension. Exactly. Very much. I think that's going back to the Unbound. Is that a sub brand or is that a completely separate brand kind of thing? I think that's what he was.
I think that depends. You know what? I think you know what? We're not giving the brand owners enough respect. If Mark decided that it's a completely separate brand, but he owns it, then I think we should respect that as a whole new brand. You know, I mean, it doesn't have NutraBio name. It doesn't have NutraBio labels. It doesn't have NutraBio look. It even was presented to the market as a completely different thing and sold completely differently from NutraBio as well. You know, the way it was targeted, I think, for retailers only, or at least in the beginning. So if the guy says it's a completely different brand and he went out of his way to present it as one, you know, he didn't present it on the one, you know, product or the one brand, then that's how it should be respected. You know, I mean, we should respect his wish. It's a new brand, and there is no discussion about it. Just because, you know, I own another house somewhere else, it should not be considered that you welcome in that house just the way you welcome in this one. You know, everything is completely different. You know, and it's a ridiculous, I think, discussion. So I'm sorry, I don't agree with Sean even, you know, closely on that.
You know, I think that, you know, Sean pretty much like the Ninja concept, and it's basically a new brand, and it's something that, you know, got released this year, and yeah, it's definitely, you know, something that, you know, bring the hype to the industry. But at the same time, you know, I still think that, you know, even due to the fact Mark is on the market for so many years and he released now different company, he should be rewarded for that effort. Because, you know, when you probably will agree with me all, once the Unbound was released, the hype was real, and it was fucking real.
Yeah, but Lukasz, you know what? And I agree with you wholeheartedly. You're 100% right. But the thing is that what are we doing here? Are we punishing somebody just because he owns another brand?
Exactly.
You know, what the fuck is that all about? That's just completely wrong. It shouldn't be that way. The guy worked his ass off. He had a formulating team. He had graphic designers on board. He was preparing for this. He put his heart and soul into it. And let's go again. I'm not hating on Ninja, not at all. I wish, I wish that Apollon would get the same fucking level of respect that Ninja got in their first year. We were fighting for this fucking thing. I mean, it was an uphill battle. I'm actually jealous. I'm not even fucking hiding it. You know, to come out in a first year and to be respected like that and to make as much noise. I mean, Shane, how many new brands came out in 2021? Hundreds? Thousands? I mean, there's a shitload of new brands, you know, that didn't get the same fucking respect and the same notice like Ninja did. To be fucking nominated next to the brand that is owned by the same people that NutraBio, one of the most respected brands in the world, I mean, that's a huge honor. You're a top three. You're nominated among, you know, one very, very famous social media guy, you know, influencer, and his brand. On the other hand, you have somebody who's been in the industry for the past 20 or 30 years, releasing one of the best products on the market, and you're nominated with them. I think that that's a huge, 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 amazing accomplishment, and congratulations on that. But, you know, again, I would never tell anyone, and I told Shane, I would never tell him or advise him or whatever. That's his business. It's his decision at the end. We're just expressing here our opinion. You know, the decision is going to be his. But the bottom line is, I mean, look at the formulas, look at the launch, look at the noise. I mean, I personally wish that Unbound would be maybe the only, not even criticism, the only thing where they differ maybe from Ninja, and maybe Ninja has a slight upper hand, but it's a slight, is that maybe because Unbound like released all the products all together and then didn't release shit. Maybe that's the only little thing. But they released so many together that was more than enough, and they made such a huge splash. And again, let's not fucking forget about the formulas. Each and every product is a fucking winner. I mean, fully dosed, fully transparent, fully delivers, expensive, everything is in it. I mean, really. I mean, it's almost like, what we talked about the fact that when they say that the rich should pay the fair share of taxes and stuff like that, and people that make a certain amount of money, should be paying more than anyone else. So what are we doing? We are punishing successful people. What are we punishing them for? The ones who actually, took out a loan, the ones who took the risk at starting their own business, the ones who went to fucking school and paying off loans to the government, and they studied for years and years and years and became successful. Well, fuck you, let's punish you, and let's take your money and give it to the ones who didn't do it. I mean, that's what we're doing here. We're punishing somebody just because he has another brand that is different. It's just so obvious.
Yeah. Brooke, I really like the nootropic by Ninja. Limitless is their nootropic. Sandy has actually really liked that too. Her only thing is that she can only do it for like 2 days in a row, and then after that she stops getting like that super like mental switch on going there. Haven't really dumped into their other products. A pre-workout is okay, but I hate the tingles. The energy on the pre-workout is good, even at half scoop, but the freaking like thermo component, man, I'm sweating my ass off for like 3-4 hours after the workout's done, just because you feel that overheated all day long on it.
See, I was worried that I was going to sweat off that based on what you said.
Yeah, I
And
sweat
based
my
on
ass off on
based
that.
on what happened when I had my thermo that time.
Yeah, the
But-
cold burn or C or whatever you had.
Yeah, I had no thermo problem.
Really? Even at a full
None.
scoop?
I mean, Robert,
Yeah.
we just had this discussion. Am I doing it? Am I doing a half scoop? No, I am not.
Go big or go home.
He's not
I
a
might do a heaping scoop, but I ain't doing no half scoop.
There we go. $5 donation from Brooke. Thank you, Brooke. Roads for Poland, an alarm that actually alarms. Premium encapsulated glutamine and nootropics for the masses.
Lukasz, when I get to Poland better have the best fucking roads in the world.
Bro, I was
And they should be, and the highways should be fucking named after Brooke.
today I was walking back home from the store, and there's a new road that they're building. It's like a big project, really big project, And
Yeah, it's $5 a week.
It's close by. It's close to the one of the biggest gallerias in my town. And I was like, thinking about, all the donations for the roads and so on. Next time, it's probably I will be walking by tomorrow. I will take a picture. I will send it to Robert, so he will post it and show to everyone. So the money is going to a right place. That's
Is
what
there
I can
like, are they doing the pavement as well? Like, is it just an entire road or a pavement? Because what you should
Yeah,
do when the cement's
They are
about to
doing.
set,
They are doing everything. They are
you
doing.
need to go write Brooke's name once the cement is in there, and then just engrave it into one of the footpaths.
Yeah, they're probably gonna do like a name square or something like this.
Or like get like a gold plate and just throw it in there when it's sitting. Boom. There you go.
This shit was donated by Brooke. Boom.
I mean, even though not really, but it would be funny.
If not, I will do it on my own. I will grab a card or something, write it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you, Brooke, for the donations. We really appreciate your support.
Yes, very, very much. Truly appreciated. You're welcome. Yes. All of Motherland appreciate your road donations.
Yes.
And once we get to that, once we get all the roads built, then we can start revamping the sex shops that are there too. We can start funding those to make sure,
No, we need.
I gotta admit, bro,
We got some issues with Belarus right now, so we need to probably after roads. We probably will need some army or like.
just
Oh, no, I'm thinking, you know what, I don't know if it's a good idea to have Carolina on a podcast because she's from Belarus and he's from Poland. That's fireworks.
I'm gonna fuck them up.
You just build a wall, Lucas. Just build a big wall.
Get Trump as a president.
Oh God.
it's gonna be a right time. It's gonna be the right time when you come to Poland. You know.
Yeah, we have a former president that is available right now.
Need any extra recruits? I will say I've got one from New Zealand. So yeah, he's down to battle.
Our army is famous for having like one plane. This isn't a joke. We have one plane, and I remember it because in the news when they replaced it, they replaced our fleet of planes with one plane because we only had one plane, and we have like one tank or some shit. So
We really
if
only
you
have to defend like 30 people in the country. I mean, that's about all the population of New Zealand is.
I mean, we just put the tank at one end, the
Yeah.
plane at the other.
You got Gandalf at the other end. You're fine. Everything's good.
Yeah, I mean, you shall not pass.
Yeah.
We're sweet. Done.
Dr. Lopez, cheers, fellas. Enjoy the holidays. Just popped in for a few. We appreciate it, Dr. Lopez. Same to you. And we're going to get you on the show soon. We will.
Yeah, they will, Doctor. Yeah, they will.
Oh, a $5 donation from Dr. Lopez.
Damn.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez.
Damn.
Very much appreciated.
Steaks for everyone.
I guess that right now we actually own the shares to 3D Pump.
Whenever I travel to Poland, I shall look for a sign from Lukasz in the tar.
Brooke,
Speaking of
you're all
holidays,
welcome.
Shane, how was your Thanksgiving? What did y'all cook for the feast?
Chicken.
Chicken.
I don't have anything
Meal
different.
Any different than any other day of the week?
No.
Turkey.
Shane is,
I'll fight turkey.
Shane is thankful 365 days a year.
I thanked people that day, and I did stuff, but I didn't change what I ate. So yeah.
Okay.
Don't forget, he is the Lord, so he makes the calls.
Yeah.
Did your subjects bring you the turkey, or did you have to, or the chicken? Sorry.
My subjects. I know you ain't talking about my wife, so it's got to be my daughter.
Your loyal subjects.
She ain't do shit, so.
Okay. Well, there we go. Another question. We'll wrap. This will be last call from the viewers for any other comments or questions you guys have. We got to jump off. I'm still in New Orleans, and we got some family stuff going on.
I was gonna say I appreciate the ornaments in the background of your.
Yeah, this is my sister's and her husband's study. So they're diplomas.
I thought the little statue to your left. I thought he was like taking a shit, but then I realized that he's actually like got one leg up. I thought he was both knees bent. A little silver dude.
Yeah, let me get this. Hold on.
I thought he was bending over for a squat, but I've realized that he's leaning forward. For the first 10 minutes, I was confused as to what he was doing. Oh, it's not bad. I was close.
Holy cow.
That is a nice... What is that?
2007 Louisiana High School Raw Regionals 148-pound class first place. So it's a powerlifting trophy. My
That's not
damn.
yours.
sister's
That's
husband.
not yours, is it?
That's sick.
Yeah, man.
Wait, is that yours? That's not yours, is it?
No, this is my sister's husband.
Oh,
Powerlifting.
I was
trophy.
going to say.
No, they modeled this on my physique, though. So, you know.
You mean the plates that have been stepped on?
Yes. Robbie, I like the idea. Maybe we put all 12 ingredients in a holding company and IPO it. There we go. Okay, let's get us all back here normal. Yes, so this is their...
It would have been a nice story if you were like a mad powerlifter back in the day.
You don't
but,
know. You
you know.
only met me a couple years ago. I could have been.
Yeah, you kind of just said it, so.
Bro, give him couple of years. We're gonna
Lucas, we've all had our couple of years.
bro, we're gonna add some juice on top of that, and it's gonna be all good.
If we've done the best we could, I'm sure.
Did. Brooke, I'm more of a ham person. Also, Carnage was pretty good. I'm a sucker for Venom. His monologues are hilarious.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
What was it? I didn't see the original one or Let There Be Carnage. I read the old Maximum Carnage graphic novel that Marvel put out back when I was a kid, or when we were kids.
I'm a sucker for Venom, so every time when they release some Venom things, I'm just like, Doesn't matter if it sucks or not. I'm just a fan.
Yeah, we get to go back to the movies next week, and I get to go to the gym on motherfucking Friday.
Oh,
I am
damn.
finally able. I think it's like 4 months since I stepped in the gym.
There you go. Is that a pull day? Push?
I don't know. I'm debating.
Legs.
This is a big move. I'm like, I don't want to save legs because I got deadlifts on Saturday or Sunday.
Bro, go with legs.
And of all the exercises that have improved during lockdown, my deadlift has come up, I don't know, like 10, 15 pounds or something. But so I don't do legs close to deadlifts. So what I'm thinking is chest. I was like, what? And then I just, when I on Monday, I just do it again. Who
If you're
cares?
gonna wreck yourself, you might as well. Just go for it.
Yeah. I couldn't think of anything. I was like, legs is, I don't want to, because then I'm not about to do anything.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I know for sure is that I haven't done any like machines, dumbbell, heavy movements. It's all been barbells and light.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking hurt the next day. I can guarantee it. I don't think it matters what I do. So I think chest is probably the best one. And I'll just
Is
lift
there-
everything.
Is there a limit right now on the members that can
Well,
be?
thankfully, my gym is kind of, it's got that Apollon look, like it's pretty rugged and hardcore. And in this country, no one really likes that. So we may have 5 members. I don't know. We don't have many people that go there. Even at peak time, there's like fuck all. So
Yeah.
if there is a restriction, I highly doubt my gym has to worry about it.
Yeah,
There you go.
we got same thing here in my gym. You know, around like 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
It's basically that. There's maybe
My
one. Cool.
My wife's gym, I think, is going to have the problem because the limit is 1 person per square meter, or sorry, 1 person per 2 square meters or something.
I
So they
never-
measure the gym floor divided by, and that's how many people they let into the gym at once.
Oh, okay.
But I think you might, I don't know if you have to book it or so, I don't know how it works. But yeah, my gym won't have that problem. Definitely.
Now, Shane, how strict are they in New Zealand? Like, if there is restrictions, say in a restaurant or a gym or something like that, do they actually come to the gym and they inspect it, or is it just a law that nobody gives
Oh,
a shit about?
I mean, they'd probably go to, they'd go to the big ones, which again,
Okay.
my gym is not, so no one's going to give a shit.
So you'll
So
be all right.
just going to roll up.
But there are people who are actually going and inspect this shit.
Oh yeah.
So it
definitely.
is. So it is strictly enforced. It's not just gimmick or like a law
Yeah,
that
'cause
nobody enforces.
I don't know if you've heard of like Les Mills. It's like a
Yeah, the body pump stuff.
yeah. So they have like a gym here, and that's one of the mainstream ones. And my friend runs that, and he was saying that like they had a lot of people, like not this lockdown, previous one. Then they were like trying to check, making sure you got all the signs up and all this up and all this shit. So yeah, I mean, I just want to go. My wife said to me, she said, "What are we gonna do?" And I was like, and I said that, and I was like, "It's gonna be chest or legs." And she said, "I'm not fucking talking about the gym, you dick. I'm just talking about going and doing something because we're not in lockdown anymore." And I was like,
Exactly what I was
"Yeah, but it's just the legs to start the day, man. It's
Yeah,
you know,
that's what you got to do.
that's the goal." So
There you go.
fuck the malls and the restaurants. I'm gonna do a titty session.
There we go, my man. All right, and our final closeout topic. I want to get. I thought this was kind of funny, and Lucas shared this in the group chat the other day. We weren't so fans of Actual Intelligence from Axe and Sledge. We like some of their other products, and I always thought the Jack Daniels inspired labels they did for their EA supplement was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now they got Mother Pucker series. So, any thoughts, good, bad, or otherwise, on this? They've got, or Shane, I guess you can give us a little bit of a rundown on this for those that haven't seen.
I mean,
the
it's
story yet.
from my understanding, it's like a candy type series, sour candy type series, or like just that candy sweetness. Because all of the flavors, 2 of the flavors are fruity, and then the rainbow candy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just meant to be sweet, sour, tart flavor series,
Mm-hmm.
specifically for their amino. So not their pre-workout or anything, just the amino. Yeah, as far as but then that's kind of like because when Ghost did its flavor series, its collabs to start. They were for a lot of the different ones were for its amino.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously much easier to flavor an amino than it is a pre, so
Absolutely.
I have to imagine these things are going to taste fucking awesome.
The flavoring is typically pretty good.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
I've always, I don't think I've had their stem pre for a while, but their pump one was good.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the amino.
Yeah.
I haven't tried
Curious
their
to try
protein
this.
yet.
I would be curious to try this.
Yeah,
Especially the sour kiwi lime.
something tells me that it's gonna taste good. I mean, like like Shane said, the aminos they taste pretty good. I've tried like maybe 2 or 3, and one was I think shark bite or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good, and the whiskey cola was pretty good too. Although I was more impressed first time I tried it, and then the second time I was like, it's okay, but nevertheless, it's pretty good.
I was listening to a recent podcast that Seth released with Bobby, and they were like talking about their flavor systems and so on, and some of their staff members shoot this idea about doing the sour theme, and that's why they decided to make this one, and they consulted with the famous formulator Heather about the formulas. And they decided to make this thing work, and so we have a motherfucker. So we shall see. I don't know when this one will be available in Europe, but yeah, I wish them good luck with that.
Excellent. Cool. It must be whiplash to have all the opening and closings. Still haven't seen much of anything restriction-wise down here. It's because Florida is the land of the free.
Yeah.
America is the country of the free, isn't it? It's the...
Not in certain areas of this country.
No,
Go to California, New York City.
Yeah.
No. Texas is great.
New York
Florida's
is
fantastic.
still messed up.
New York, I think, is messed up for foreseeable future. I mean, I just saw a video of the police officer being attacked, and I'm pretty sure that it was New York, and he was just trying to arrest somebody or whatever, and the guy beat the living crap out of the cop, like literally beat him up. And there were people who are filming and whatnot, and nobody interfered or anything like that. Which is to me unthinkable. And then in California, they pretty much in broad daylight, they just walk into stores and take whatever they want without any fear of any repercussions whatsoever. So when you have certain situations like that, and there is no punishment for it, I mean, clearly there is an issue. And I always believe that every problem that you have of such magnitude, it's very, very difficult to fix. It's very, very difficult. Not impossible, but very, very difficult. It was I was talking with some people from within an industry recently about how popular Gaspari nutrition was. And 10 years ago, 2008, 2009, anything that Gaspari would release was a hit. Anything. I mean, it was an instant hit, and everybody wanted it in the stores. I mean, it was just huge. And the company was making almost 100 million in sales. I mean, they were just unbelievable. Yeah. It's not quite the case today. It's not even close. So even the company is barely relevant, in comparison. And the damage was done, and it's so severe that I'm pretty sure everybody who makes that much money and who's that successful, when he loses that success, he wants to come back, obviously, to it, because we constantly want to, like I always said, I want Apollon to grow. And for me, it's not a matter of money. For me, I mean, money is always, a stimulant, but it's not the only thing. To me, it's about just growth. You want to constantly grow and get better, whether it's in sports, in business, in whatever you do, you want to get better. When the company drops to such low level as it is today, to get back to it, while it's highly desirable, obviously, it's close to impossible. Not impossible, but it's close to impossible. So I think that's that's the same situation that we have certain states like New York and California and whatnot, and then even New Jersey to an extent. We have a dumbass governor who did unthinkable shit. And what happens when we had re-elections a couple of weeks ago? He got re-elected again. He won marginally. Was it fixed? Wasn't it fixed? We can always speculate. It doesn't really matter. And I don't like to state something when I don't have any facts or any proof. So I'm just going to plead the fifth on this one. But the reality is, when people are done wrong, when their businesses are destroyed, their livelihood is destroyed, there is unemployment, rising prices, and everything is bad, and you still elect the same guy who is at least partially responsible for that, that doesn't say much about you. And we're talking for the next couple of years, the same person who led the state to a certain level, person who actually, while campaigning for his position to be reelected, during his campaign says, if you don't like high taxes in New Jersey, then New Jersey is not a state for you. And people still fucking elect him. I mean, we clearly have a serious issue. We have a very serious. So I mean, that's the reason why I mean, certain people like myself and that are kind of like have to be here for whatever reason. But those that don't, I mean, a lot of them have left the state and leaving the majority of idiots here who are voting the same way. So that just goes to show that I think that. Robert is right that, the freedom and whatnot is not exactly there anymore. And I don't think it's going to change in certain places for foreseeable future.
Yeah. Thank you for the stream. Thank you, too, for tuning in, Brooke. And thank you for everyone else coming in late, simply too deep. What's going on, man? We're about to put a bow in this package and send it out the door.
Poland, thanks you for the roads.
Yes. Thank you for the Polish roads.
Thank you, Brookie. I really appreciate you. Much love.
Thank you to everyone that tuned in for the podcast. We appreciate you, Shane. Thank you for making time to jump on, even though your alarm was a little
not
deficient.
Shane anymore. Lord
Shane. We already know it's not the Lord's fault. It's his daughter, who is absent. It's her fault.
Yeah.
It's anybody but my fault.
Yeah, exactly.
It's his status fault, Lord.
Next week I won't be here.
Correct. That's what we're talking about. You're not going to be here next week, correct?
Well, it was either the podcast or the gym. Because my daughter's birthday is at like 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is easy.
Okay. Well, we know where the podcast ranks on your priority list now.
I wouldn't expect anyone of you motherfuckers to miss the gym for this. If you're like, oh, dude, I gotta go to the gym. See you next week, bro.
I would miss my daughter's birthday for the podcast, though. Not the gym, but my daughter's birthday, I probably would.
To be fair, though, it is your podcast. So, I mean, I wouldn't miss my daughter's birthday for...
running it in my absence.
I wouldn't miss my daughter's birthday for this, sorry.
Well.
I might skip the gym, but the thing is the gym can be moved. Daughter's birthday cannot.
I'm still gonna sing a song for Ava, so don't worry about that.
Maybe we can come on for 20 minutes, I don't know.
There we go. Cool.
All right.
Gentlemen, thank you all for joining us. For listeners out there, thank you for tuning in, participating. Thank you to Dr. Lopez and Brooke for the $5 donations. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the Stack 3D podcast available on.
Nah, don't subscribe to the podcast because I was busy this week and didn't do anything.
Okay, well then only leave Shane a 3.5-star review this week instead of a 4.5-star review.
I deserve a 2-star review at the least. Okay, that was horrible that I left it, but whatever.
Well, the thing is that you on this podcast and you on the other podcast. So I don't think we should giving you stars for the other podcast because you can have two, just like Unbound and Neutral Bio. Pick one.
That's a good one.
Support one podcast that Shane Smith is a part of. Lord Shane Smith. Make sure it's the final scoop.
So your podcast doesn't count anymore. 0 stars. Move on.
Bro, high five on that.
All right, my friends. Good seeing you all again. Have a great week, and we will catch you all next time on the final scoop.